Hello and welcome back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. We have some loot to give out, we have some levels to give out, and I have some interesting questions on mechanics. So, the interesting questions on mechanics also goes into loot for Greybor. So here's where we start. The Axiomatic Trident. Now this is an interesting weapon. Axiomatic means that it will do 2d6 points of damage extra to chaotic creatures. Now this is really good, because this means that our weapon is effectively an 8 to 25 weapon, right? Because it's doing that extra 2d6. Given that we only fight demons pretty much, that would mean that it goes roughly into the level of these other two weapons that we have. Unholy is pretty much useless on this weapon, because it does an extra 2d6 points of damage to good creatures. And we very, very rarely fight good creatures. So, we can ignore that one. Elder Flaming Burst acts like Flaming Burst, except it's immune to resistances and immunity to fire, right? Now this is where it becomes interesting in terms of mechanics, because Flaming Burst should be adding 1d6 points of fire damage to the character. So we should have 1d6 here, right? Which would mean that our weapon does 9 to 31 damage, which would put it firmly as the highest damage weapon out of the three. So that's cool. However, I'm not entirely sure it works that way. And the reason I'm not sure it works that way is Woljif happens to also have a Flaming Burst weapon. Now, what's interesting about Woljif's one is that he also has the trait Flaming on his weapon, which gives him 1d6 fire up the top here. But Flaming Burst says that the weapon should also be acting as if it's flaming. So does this mean that Woljif does 2d6 fire damage? Or does it mean that you need flaming on the weapon so that you get the 1d6 fire damage extra? Or does it mean that Elder Flaming Burst actually works differently and Woljif's is just, odd? Who knows? Who knows how it works? But this is one of my questions for this weapon. It seems like it's not explaining it well enough in terms of how much damage we're going to do. Now I could take it out in the field and test it, but even if I assume it's doing the most damage, so 9 to 31, I'm still not entirely sure it's better for us. Now the other part of Flaming Burst, if we go and have a look at Woljif, because this is the only way you can read it, is that it'll do an extra 1d10 points of fire damage on a successful critical hit. So 1d10 points of damage is essentially what you're getting out of this weapon when it crits. Rupturing Storm, which is the only one we could realistically replace it with, because just to show you here, if I equip this, I do it here. If I equip this, you'll see that the numbers drop quite heavily on this side, because it's not a light weapon. At least I assume that's the reason. But yeah, they drop pretty heavily in terms of our 2 hits, so we don't want to do that. So if we compare it with Rupturing Storm, which is the only one of the 2 weapons we could replace without taking that negative, Rupturing Storm only does 3 less damage, but its effect on a critical says that it creates sparks that stick to allies' weapons, granting them flaming enchantment for 1d3 rounds, as well as granting the wielder and allies fire resistance 20 for the same duration. Now, as we know, flaming enchantment is 1d6 damage, so if you had 2 characters who, if you had a character who hits twice, that would be 2d6 damage, which is better than 1d10. So assuming that Rupturing Storm works correctly, it's gonna do more damage than Axiomatic Trident on a crit, which means that it's probably just better overall, in my view, but I don't know, we'll see. I also don't entirely know that the sparks, the fire sparks that stick to allies' weapons is a thing. Like, I don't know how wide an area that ability needs to trigger on. Like, is it a 30 feet thing? Is it 60 feet? Is it all allies? It's a little bit odd in terms of its description. If it's like only within a 10-foot radius, that changes things a little bit. However, even if you only have one person with the buff and they hit it twice, or like they hit the enemy twice, then that's still a good buff. So I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, my point being is we're going to sell this Axiomatic Trident for 25,000 gold, and we're going to be very happy with it. We do have some other things for Greybor. We have the Breastplate of the Tireless Warrior. Now, this one's interesting because it's adamantine. So adamantine gives it the damage reduction 2, which is interesting. Is there anything else it gives here? It also lowers the armor check penalty of armor, which is okay. But The reason why I think that it's interesting is because that gives DR2, while the other one that he's wearing also gives DR2. However, Beacon of Carnage actually can give an extra 3 if he gets surrounded by 3 enemies. So it could give DR5. So my question is, and most of the time it's always going to give DR3 because you're going to be next to another enemy hitting them. So my question is 1 to 3 extra DR better than 1 armor class? That's an interesting one. I don't know what's better. I'm gonna assume it's the armor class, and this one also gives you immunity to fatigue and exhaustion, which is quite nice because you do occasionally get enemies that use like the exhaustion breath weapon, which just completely nullifies Greybor. So yeah, we're gonna equip this, but I'm not sure it's the right choice. But anyway, so that's our other thing for Greybor. For us, I'm going to move the purple stone knife into our weaponry here. Not because I'm going to use it as a weapon, but just so that I don't discard it or put it away somewhere. It's probably going to be useful for the story, so I'm just going to keep it on us. It's similar to how we kept the shield on Sosiel. Anything else we need to look at? This short bow is the one that Woljif was using. He doesn't need it anymore. We're keeping this on here for Woljif. Lots of quarterstaffs that aren't very good. I believe everybody has rings. What about this one? Amulets of natural armor. So we're just going to go through here. Anyone who has an amulet of natural armor, we're just going to upgrade with an amulet of natural armor +4. Do I think amulets of natural armor are very good? No. But, you know, we might as well have them with a good version of it rather than a bad version of it. Although they are better than I thought they were. The reason I thought they were bad is because we were going to use... what was it? Camelia's bark skin ability, but obviously Camelia's not with us anymore, so these have actually gone up in value throughout the game. But anyway, there you have it. Right, anything else that we need to do? I think there are a couple of shirts we need to give out. These are useless because, you know, we have unlimited enforcing gazes. So we got Hag's Demise, Silver Robe, and Web Strider. Web Strider is +10 competence bonus on lower nature skill checks, effectively. Hag's Demise is a +4 insight bonus on saving throws against hexes and necromancy school spells, and then a +1 bonus on all saving throws against fear effects. Now, this is only useful if you are not within 30 feet of our character, because, thanks to our mythic, they are now all immune to that. So, you know, if you're within 30 feet, don't need to worry about it. It's basically not for a melee character. Right. Let's see. Anybody not wearing a shirt? You're wearing a shirt. +3 on saving throws against acid. Acid or fear effects is our question here. Or lore nature. How's your lore nature? Absolutely terrible. Okay, let's give you... I actually think the +1 against fear effects is probably better. It looks ridiculous though. Yeah, you can go back to this one. That just looks awful. Right. What have you got? Yeah, that seems good. Sosiel? No shirt. Well, you can have Hag's Demise. This one seems useful. Saving throws against hexes and necromancy school spells. I mean, it's not super useful, but there you have it. He also looks very evil now with that on. Anybody else not wearing a shirt? I know that those two have good ones. His is literally looks like his like standard equipment, so it's probably good. Yeah, I know what yours is. Lore Master robe. Kind of weird for you to have it, but you know, that's only because we don't want Nenio using it, because hers is better. Yeah, and that's pretty good. Okay, so these ones can just kind of go away for just now. That's fine. Wait, oh yeah, I just literally took that off 2 seconds ago. I was like, did I not give that to somebody? Took it off literally 2 seconds ago. Right. That is all of our loot handed out. We need to go and sell it in a second. Right. Let's have a look at our level ups. Greybor. Greybor. Just looking at what he's doing. The stuff that we did last level, putting him into Iron Will, is kind of useless now at this level. Because, again, he's a melee character. He's going to stand next to us and he's going to be immune to mind-affecting effects. But, I mean, it's okay. I suppose if he happens to be away from the main character, it's not completely worthless. So, something to think about. Anyway, let's level him up. So, level 20 Slayer. He gets a Slayer talent, He gets study target level 20, so he gets extra attack rolls, damage rolls, and character save DCs against the studied target, which is cool. And he gets Master Slayer. At 20th level, the Slayer becomes a master at capturing or killing his studied targets. As a standard action, he can make a single attack against the studied target as full attack bonus. If the attack succeeds, the target takes damage normally and must succeed at a Fortitude saving throw or die. The DC for the save is 10, plus half of the Slayer's level, plus the Slayer's intelligence modifier. Intelligence modifier is currently 1, looking like we're probably going to make it 2. So that's a 22 DC Fortitude save or die. That doesn't seem that useful, because it means he's attacking less and he has to, he's attacking less and it's a very low DC. But if we happen to be facing something with like a ridiculously low fortitude, we could do it. Or, alternatively, if we're facing something with insane stats, we can also try it. Because insane stats means that basically we'd be hoping that he rolls a 1 either way. So if we use that on the enemy, I guess it has to also hit. That's the problem. And when are you going to hit an enemy? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we'll basically be looking for insane odds on that, but it's something to have. I think the Slayer talent makes it worth taking this 20th level, as does the studied target, so let's go. Take a point in intelligence because, well, it's the one that makes all of our stats even, so that gets us a bonus. And then we have many, many points to spend, and we're going to spend them in the 4 stats that he already has there. And actually gives him max perception, for which is not bad. Yeah. It means that we have a backup if we happen to fail a perception check, which doesn't happen very often. Right, Slayer talents. We have a lot in here, some of which we don't need to worry about. Things like Slippery Mind are just straight up not good anymore because of us being immune to mind-affecting effects. Don't need Trickery, don't need Trip. Uncanny Dodge is weird because it's also improved Uncanny Dodge up here, which I assume would come with, you know, all the benefits of Uncanny Dodge. Trailblazer, don't think we need. Don't need Terrain Mastery because I don't know what terrain we're going to be in. This is an intelligence modifier thing, so we don't need that. Does not provoke attacks of opportunity when standing up from prone. I don't think that's going to be a problem. A +1 against poisons. We're immune to poisons if we're within 30 feet of the main character. Can designate a single enemy which we're adjacent to as prey. Until the end of the next turn, can add sneak attack damage to all attacks made against them. Okay, that's fine. I mean, we get sneak attack damages if we're flanking anyway, which is going to do, well, like, well, most of the time we want to flank, so it's fine. These all involve attacking friendlies, I believe, because it gets rid of shaken, confused, and all of that sort of stuff, so that's fine. Wait. When the character is confused and hits a creature with a melee attack that deals sneak attack damage, the character is no longer confused. Oh, I misread that. That doesn't involve us attacking someone else. That involves him attacking when he's confused, and then he can stop being confused at the end of it. Okay. I still don't think that's useful now due to us being immune to like most of those effects, but okay, it's better than I thought it was. I misread that initially. Can move at full speed using the stealth skill without penalty. It's not going to be a problem. Familiar, don't think we need it. Blinding Strike, don't need it, because we don't need Blinding Critical. When a character with this talent makes a perception check, they gain a +4 bonus. Don't need that. So that leaves us with Combat Style and Combat Trick. Now, Combat Style, we could take a Skill Focus, which we don't need, but in 2-weapon combat, we have Greater 2-weapon fighting, which is kind of cool. It gives us a 3rd attack at a -10 on our offhand weapon, which isn't as bad as it might seem. You could also take Toughness, which would give us a lot of hit points at this point. Yeah, it would give us a reasonable amount of hit points. For every hit die you possess beyond the 3rd, you gain 1 additional hit point. Yeah, so that would get us 20 hit points, which is okay. I'm thinking Greater 2-weapon fighting is my favorite so far. Combat Trick. I still like Greater 2-weapon fighting. Yeah, I'm going to take that one. Let's go. So, Greater 2-weapon fighting. And we get an extra attack at a -10. Cool. Very straightforward stuff. And that now means that we get this attack here, which is still +21, which makes it still pretty high up there in our attacks. Like, we have 2 attacks here that have a lower to hit, so yeah, I'm happy with the +21. Right, Mythic level up. So, for Mythic level ups, he doesn't have an awful lot that's going to be useful here. Most of these are for casters or for, you know, very specific circumstances. He doesn't need enduring spells. I guess I'm thinking about Rupture Restraints, which gives him the ability to remove a ton of, like, extra things. I mean, he's going to be immune to a lot of those now from the Aeon stuff, but that's okay. Could also give him Leading Strike. The problem with Leading Strike is that would basically mean he can't be in a party with Seela, because at the bottom it says here, only one ally can leave a mark on a target at a time. Other allies with Leading Strike ability do not deal additional damage to a marked target. So you can't have, like, every ally with Leading Strike getting this bonus each time. But Leading Strike is really good, and we could have it on different targets, I suppose. It would just involve a little bit of micromanagement. You know what, I'll take it. Yeah, let's go for Leading Strike. Yeah, involves a little bit of micromanagement, but we'll be okay. Quick save. Okay, so once that finishes, there we go. Next up, we have Arueshalae. Now, Arueshalae is in a very similar situation to Greybor. We get Espionage Master. An Espionage Expert of 20th level can becomes an Espionage Master. She can, as a standard action, make a single attack against a favored enemy at her full attack bonus. If the attack hits, the target takes damage normally and must make a Fortitude save or die. The DC of the save is equal to 10 plus half the Espionage Expert's level plus the Espionage Expert's Charisma modifier. So very, very similar to what Greybor just got there. So that's going to be a 20 base plus the modifier, which is going to be a +7 once we put an extra point into Charisma. So that's a DC 27, which is much more likely to succeed. So yeah, I think that's okay. And then we get 2 favored enemy things here. Neat. This seems like we should take this. I'll take that point in Charisma here. Point in all of those. Favored enemy. So we have to pick a new favored enemy. I don't know what we're going to be facing. Maybe outsiders? Maybe undead? Possibly? You know, I think we might face a dragon. I'm going to take dragon. I think dragon's a fairly safe bet that there might be something there. Like, if we're going to face something that's tough, a dragon is likely going to be it. And then here, favored enemy. A demon type definitely seems good. Maybe Demons of... Yeah, maybe Demons of Strength. +2 bonus against, like... Vavakia, Baelors. Yeah, I think Demons of Strength seems good. Just get that extra bonus against them. And there we go. Now, Arueshalae is slightly different on our Mythic. Because she's a ranged user, there's a whole bunch of ranged stuff that she can take. Like, potentially the bigger they are. Potentially we could take... well, she already has a lot of them, to be fair. Exposed Vulnerability. Every third hit against same enemy deals an additional 1d6 plus per 2 mythic ranks divine damage. So that'll be 5d6 at max, which is extra damage. It's good. I think I might take Last Stand, though. I like all of my characters having Last Stand. The ability to just not die is incredibly valuable, I'd say. And it's turning out to be more and more valuable as the game goes on. So we'll take Last Stand. Right. Oh, let's do a quick save after that. Just do a quick save after each one that we do, just in case I'm like, oh no, I need to go back, and we don't have to do the whole thing over again. Regill, level up. Now, he is an interesting one, because I don't know if his fighter one is going to be that useful. So he gets, at this level, Ardent. Armigers are difficult to sway away from their beliefs. At second level, an Armiger gains a +1 bonus on will saves against charm and compulsion effects. This bonus increases by 1 for every 4 fighter levels beyond the second. Additionally, the first time per day the Armiger fails a saving throw against a charm or compulsion effect, he rerolls the saving throw for the same DC. Now this replaces bravery. Actually that says it replaces bravery on each one. Okay. So, if we have a look at Regill here, actually, if we have a look at us and our mythic thing, they are immune to all mind-affecting effects. Now, the reason I do this again is because this means taking something where its only benefit is you get bonuses against mind affecting effects kind of seems a little stupid. So we're looking for something that provides full base attack bonus and like another class that provides full base attack bonus and some useful abilities. And if we can find one of those, then we can safely say we don't need this level in fighter. So let's have a look. I don't believe Alchemist or Arcanist does. Anything that says Caster probably doesn't provide you your full base attack. How about Cavalier? Can I actually see it here? Like, it says base attack 0. Maybe Blood Rager does? Because that says 1. There should be some that provide, like... Oh, maybe I'll look at a higher level one. Like, there's some that apparently provide half. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Or, 6, 7... Okay. Well, that's 1, 2, 3... Yeah, so every second level you get them. And then, like, some like this. That's every... third level, right? No, that's every second level. Okay. I forget which one it was that, like, something. It's like maybe one of these provides. That's one all the way down. I'm just trying to see. Here's where I don't really know base attack bonus and how it works, and I'm trying to figure it out on the fly. Yeah, maybe there's only like base. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how to figure out base attack bonus, actually, if I'm honest with you. But basically, we're looking for one of these ones that says you get 1 extra base attack bonus. So something like Cavalier would be okay. So Cavalier, you can challenge a foe to combat. The Cavalier's melee attack deals extra damage whenever attacks made against the target of his challenge. This damage is equal to the Cavalier's level. So that'll be level in Cavalier. So that'll be 1. Probably for whatever it says. Yeah, so it's 1 extra damage. Yeah, that doesn't seem great. Okay, that's not a great one. How about Blood Rager? Sure. What do we get here? So you get fast movement. I guess I can look at it on this one. Fast movement. So Blood Rager's land speed is faster than normal. When he applies when he's wearing no armor. Or light armor, medium armor, and is not carrying a heavy load. So this would do nothing. We can go into a rage. Yeah, I don't think that's him. I don't think this is our character here. Take a point in Cleric. That wouldn't give him the base attack. Doesn't give him base attack. Doesn't give him base attack. Anything that doesn't say 1, we're just going to ignore. How about Monk? Is there any Monk things that he could get? This is unarmed better. It gives him bonuses equal to Wisdom. Unarmed Strike. He gets proficiencies with Monk stuff. He gets Flurry of Blows. You can make 1 additional attack. I don't think we need that. Yeah, I don't think that's the path for him. Maybe a single one in Ranger. So he gets Ranger proficiencies, which don't matter, and then he gets a favored enemy. So that would give him a favored enemy, basically. That's what we get from that. Okay. How about Rogue? Rogue gets some sneak attack. That's okay. Yeah. I mean, that's fine. Doesn't really get too much else. What's Thug's Frightening do? Whenever a Thug successfully uses Persuasion to demoralize a character, the duration of the shaken condition is increased by 1 round. In addition, if the target is shaken for 4 or more rounds, the Thug makes the target frightened for 1 round. Okay, that's cool, because we do actually have Dazzling Display on him, which would do that. Yeah, okay. What else do we get? We get Weapon Finesse, which doesn't matter. And then we get proficiencies and we get Sneak Attack. Where we could, okay, deal extra damage. It's an extra 1d6 plus the frightening effect. Thug, I think, is better. I mean, we don't get the base attack bonus. That's the problem. Yeah, we would be losing out on that. Slayer, we get Slayer proficiencies and Study Target. We're very aware of those now. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for him. In terms of things, it's do we want Thug or do we want another level in Fighter? I guess I could use, I could cheat here and see what we get. So if I was to finish Fighter, wait, let me just see. Does it tell me anywhere else? Like, say I was to choose Kineticist. So I was trying to see whether it would tell me this base attack bonus thing and what I would get at the next level. I don't know. So Well, let's cheat. Let's cheat. So what's his base attack bonus right now? I need to go to his character sheet into class, maybe? Ability? Ah, martial. There we go. So 19, 14, 9, 4. 19, 14, 9, 4. 19, 14, 9, 4. We're just going to click through this. We don't care. I'm going to take a point in Dex, because that's probably what we would take. Some of these, some of that. Right. So, oh, we can actually see here. 20, 15, 10, 5. Okay, 20, 15, 10, 5. So if I took that point in Rogue, what are we getting? Because I'm expecting us to get nothing on here. I also... Okay, I get that. I get 1 extra point here, maybe? Is that what it's saying? Maybe. I don't know. I'll take a point in Lower Religion. It doesn't really matter. 19, 14, 9, 4. Okay. So yeah, we get no base attack bonus. So... Or to hit is lower. Yeah, that kind of makes this a little bit worse. If our 2 hit is lower, our sneak attack and the frightening stuff suddenly becomes a lot worse. So we would be looking for something with that 1 on base attack if we wanted to switch. Which I don't think we can find anything that is just straight up good. I guess, like, we could... Well, the problem is, like, Fighter gets us nothing. So I should at least take a point in Ranger or something. Right? Yeah. Maybe there is a Cavalier class that works for us. Yeah, maybe one that doesn't give us that challenge. Which I was like, that's not very good. We can get an Animal Companion. Seems bad. How about the bigger they... What's the bigger they are? +1 dodge bonus to AC against creatures larger than he is. Which is going to be everything against Regill. Okay. Bonus increases by 1 if the creature is 2 size categories larger. So a 2 to AC against a lot of big things. Okay. That's fine. That seems good. No Animal Companion. We can ignore challenge, I guess. Order. That would get us some benefits from being under the order. Tactician. Receive a teamwork feat as a bonus feat. Must meet the prerequisites. As a standard action, we can grant his teamwork feat to all allies within 30 feet who can see and hear him. They retain use of this bonus feat for 3 rounds, +1 round for every 2 levels. Doesn't matter. Okay, that's fine. We get a bonus feat. We get a bonus teamwork feat. We already knew that. And then we get armor and weapon proficiency. This one seems good. Bigger they are is AC. And then this should give them all of the stuff that we wanted. Bonus feats. Gains bonus combat or mounted combat feats at 1st level, 3rd level. So this would get us a bonus feat. We do have to take an Animal Companion for that, though. I really don't want one. Or a Standard Bearer. At 5th level. Okay, we can just ignore that one right off the bat. That's going to give us nothing. What's Fearsome Inspiration? Each time you use Dazzling Display, you can also dispel all fear effects from your allies. Would be useful for another... Yeah, for a different campaign where we don't already have those, like that benefit from being an Aeon, that would be useful. Otherwise, yeah. I think Discipline of the Pike is good. Yeah, I think this one works. We'll give him a... he already has the Dex bonus. This is fine, I think. Yeah. Perception and Persuasion. Order. So what does he get? Challenge. Challenge plus skills. Skills plus challenge, or challenge plus skills. Okay, so it just adds a class skill. Lower religion. Receives a morale bonus on saving throws as long as he's threatening the target of his challenge. Oh, so this gives us benefits on challenge. Dodge bonus to AC against the challenge target. Okay, that's useful. Morale bonus on all melee damage rolls made against the target of his challenge. +1 on attack rolls. I kind of like this one, the extra dodge AC. Yeah, so that's getting him even more dodge AC there. Okay, and then Tactician bonus feat. Wait, does he not already have Outflank? Wait, he doesn't have Outflank? Oh, there you go. Welcome to the Outflank Club. He now also gets it, so he can outflank when everyone else outflanks. So crits into crits into crits. There we go. So we found a way to get him AC, plus outflank, plus dodge bonus if he uses the challenge ability. Yeah, I think this is okay. I think this isn't amazing, but, you know, it's the best we're going to get. And it's 20, 15, 10, 5. Okay. That's all I wanted to find out. Let's quick save that one and then have a look at his mythics. Right, Mythic. So, here... he has Last Stand. A lot of these just don't matter. Abundance, Might, Chaos isn't going to come up as a problem. I think maybe Mythic Charge. I'll give him 9d6 if he charges. Yeah, that's good. Don't need to worry too much about it. Next up is gonna be Sosiel. So let's have a look at him. Now, what are we doing with him? So he's got glaive stuff. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's level him up. Now, we could take a point in Cleric. And I know what the point in Cleric does here. Because if we see here, that's 3/3 on 8th and 9th level spells. And this would give him 4/4. So he gets extra on his 9th level spells. Let's have a look here. What does he have at 9th level? 9th level, he has... a buff for himself, Heal Mass, Polar Midnight, and Energy Drain. None of those I'm particularly that worried about. 8th level. He has a couple of buffs for himself and a buff for everyone else as a round action. Anything else I want here? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think I'm happy with the number of spell slots he has. Now, the reason I wanted to check that is this means I'm not worried about the spell slot. So he's in a very similar situation. If I don't need more spells, then why am I taking a point in Cleric, right? I could take a point in anything else. And actually for him, I think a good single point might be Fighter. Fighter gets him a bonus combat feat, and it gets him better base attack bonus. I think that seems like a really good thing for like a single point. Is there anything else I could take though? Dueling Sword, don't need that. Removes the bonus combat feat to get him Order and Studious Squire. Skill rank at each level, doesn't matter. Hell Knight Order, doesn't matter. Okay. Arcane Strike. You imbue your weapons with a fraction of your power. For 1 round, your weapons deal 1 damage and are treated as magic for the purposes of overcoming damage reduction. For every 5 caster levels you possess, which he does possess caster levels, this bonus increases by 1 to a maximum of +5 at 20th level. Okay, but wait, is this caster levels or is this... does this also get spells? I don't know whether this one also gets spells. Maybe that's the trick. I don't want to look into it too much. I don't think I'm going to take it. But still, there's a thought. That's exactly the same as Fighter at first level. That's exactly the same as Fighter at first level. Two-handed Fighter, also exactly the same as Fighter at first level. I'm just going to take Fighter. Yeah, let's just give him the single point. I think that's fine. Here, none of them can be rounded up, which is unfortunate, so we can't get an extra bonus. Let's give him a point of strength. Hopefully we get something that gives him like a +3 bonus, but generally you don't get that sort of thing. Give him those 3, because that's what we've been leveling up. And he gets a bonus combat feat. Okay, what do we want to give him? Vital Strike is a single attack. We don't want to do that. Sunder Armor. I'm not going to start learning about combat maneuvers at this point. I'm way past learning about that. If I was going to do it, I would have done it earlier. Improved Initiative is okay. Hammer the Gap is really nice. When you make a full attack, each consecutive hit against the same opponent deals extra damage equal to the number of previous consecutive hits you've made against the opponent this turn. That can be really, really good. What is Cornugan Smash? When you damage an opponent with power attack, you may make an immediate Persuasion Intimidate check as a free action to attempt to demoralize your opponent. We do have 34 Persuasion. Do I need this? I don't know if we need this. I don't think that makes any difference to us one way or another. Do we already have like criticals for our weapon? We have improved critical for glaive. I could take critical focus to gain a circumstance bonus on attack rolls made to confirm. That seems useful. Yeah, we might take that one. Yeah, I'm going to take this one. This one has a cool name, but we're going to take critical focus. Yeah, let's go with that. So he's going to get better crits. And his base attack bonus goes up for us doing that, which is all fantastic. There we go. Right. Next up, we have to do his mythic. Okay. Seeing what we already had with him here. Now, his casting is not really why we use him. He doesn't have Ascended Elements. Just doing a quick scroll through here. I think we're going to go boring. We're going to go with what a lot of other people have here. We could go look at Impossible Domain and all that sort of stuff. I think we're going to give him Mythic Charge, so he gets he gets 9d6 damage on a charge attack. That's really good, especially if he crits. You know, then that becomes insane. So that is him set up. And then we have Nenio. Let's also check that he didn't get those spells as well. Because I don't think he should have. Yeah, he didn't. Okay, cool. Nenio. Nenio. Well, let's level you up. You're going to take a point in Lore Master. I was trying to think what we were going to do with you. No, we take a point in Lore Master, obviously. That gets us level 3, which gets us a secret. Now, apparently that list below is just, you know, incorrect. So we just take what we get, but Lore Master still gets the spells, slots. Yeah, that's fine. That's what we're going to go with. 1 point, we'll have 30 intelligence. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have 11 points because we have now, yeah, because we got an extra intelligence point, we now have more points to spend. Just go perception, just stuff it all in there. Cool, secret. Take a wizard feat. Will secret, that doesn't seem good. Reflex secret, maybe. Fortitude. Combat feat. There's a ton of things in here it says are all good. I disagree with its definition of all good. Advanced weapon training. Allied spellcaster, I don't think we need that. Just doing a little scroll through, see if there's anything that's like obviously good for her. Missile shield. No, you need to use a shield. Makes sense. What are these? Ballad in the Shite? Okay, no, we're not going to be in those styles. Mainly because I don't know what they are. They're all monk things, I think. While mounted and using the charge, don't care. None of this is good. Okay. There's a lot of feats here. I've scrolled very quickly and decided none of them are good. I may be incorrect. Dodge is probably fine. See if we have anything else here that fits under the probably fine category. It's Dragon Ferocity. While in Dragon style. That's obviously not good. Wizard feats. Greater Elemental Focus. +1 to difficulty class for saving throws against spells that deal damage of the enemy of the energy type you select. That could be okay. Spell focus. We can't take for the one that I'd want it on anyway. Augment summoning. Don't think we need that. Combat casting. Nope. Elemental focus. That's +1 to the difficulty class, which is okay. Roughly the same as greater elemental focus. I think it's because it lets you take... I think because secret kind of lets you take anything, you can end up with weird situations. Cast level is 2 levels higher for some spells. You can add 1 to the number of spell things summoned. Add 1 to the difficulty class for all saving throws against spells from the School of Magic you select. We already have the 2 that I care about there. Yeah, we already have the 2 I care about there. We could take something that like improves our fire spells or something. Let's see if we have anything else. We could take meta magic. That does involve me having to learn about it. Oh yeah, I can learn what Empower does. All variable numeric effects of empowered spells are increased by half, including bonuses to those rolls. Oh. Okay. Yeah, it's cool. So... yeah, that's better than I thought it was. Cool. Heighten? Higher spell level than normal. Okay. All effects dependent on spell levels, such as saving throw DCs and ability to penetrate lesser globe of invulnerability, are calculated according to the heightened level. Again, some of these are cool. I just don't know if I actually need to worry about them. Yeah. I don't know what we're going to go for. Is there anything else here that we could take? We could just take a +2 to reflex or something. It feels like I should take one of these, though. No, our highest damage ability does cold damage. We could take +1 to the difficulty class for saving throws against cold. Yeah, because Polar Ray is going to be our highest damage move, so let's do that. Spells. Do we need any more 9th level spells? We're pretty much set there. Should take Shout Greater. This one seems like it's probably useful to have in our list. Oh, we probably have Greater Enduring, don't we? I think we have Greater Enduring. I'm going to head out of here for a second and just double check that. If she does, we take buffs. Greater Enduring. Yeah, so we can take buffs. It would be nice if you could like save a draft of a level up, or if you could look at your inventory and stuff while you're doing the level up. That would also be incredibly useful. That's the wrong one. There we go. Secret, Wizard Feat, Cold. Then we're looking for buffs. Like Iron Body is probably good. You gain damage reduction, adamantine, immune to blindness, critical hits, ability score reduction, disease, drowning, electricity, poison, stunning, all spells and attacks that affect your physiology or respiration because you have no physiology or respiration while the spell's in effect. You have acid and fire resistance 30. A lot of that's pretty good. -6 penalty to dex is not as good. Speed being reduced is not as good. And the arcane spell failure chance isn't good. Okay, so there are some negatives there. How about Angelic Aspect Greater? DR... That's good. Immunity to acid and cold, resistance to electricity and fire, +4 racial bonus on saving throws against poison, doesn't matter because we're already immune. And a protective aura. Yeah, that's kind of cool. And a globe of invulnerability, and yeah, I kind of like that one. We might take that one here. Anything else? Permanent or run 1 round per level. Okay, no, let's ignore that for just now. Let's see if we have anything else that's like a buff that we haven't got yet. Ice Body's probably good. Ice Body doesn't have the same negative that the other ones have. Yeah. Okay, that's kind of cool. Legendary Proportions. Maybe. Anything else in here? Firebrand? That's a round per level. Not worried about that. Cat's Grace, Eagles. Transformation is okay. +4 bonus to Strength, Dex, Con. Natural armor bonus to AC. +5 competence bonus on Fortitude saves. Proficiency doesn't matter, and base attack bonus equaling your character level does sound kind of cool. I might take Transformation. There we go. So we're going to take Greater Angelic Aspect and Transformation. Awesome. Although Transformation is round per level, but it's still, I think, pretty good. As like a little buff. Right. And then, Nenio's Mythic level up. Let's have a look. We can get Ascended Element, so that element type can no longer be prevented or reduced by energy resistances or energy immunity. So you could take Ice, I suppose, on that one. Favored Meta Magic. The spell level cost for its use now decreases to by 1. So we can make Quicken only be a... yeah, only costs 2 levels. Last Stand is pretty good. I think I'm between Last Stand and Ascendant Element. Maybe Archmage Armor. I think I'm going to take Last Stand. Again, I think that our characters not dying is generally like a huge positive. And the fact that that gives us 2 turns to sort out problems generally just makes it the best. Cool. That took a long time to do the level up, but that's okay. We have saved. It's time to head outside. And I guess you'll do. Hello. Show me your wares. I'm going to sell you everything. Plus the Axiomatic Trident. Plus all those quarterstaffs. Ring of Luck. All of those rings. We'll sell you the Bardings as well, and the Amulet of Mighty Fists, and all of these things as well. Yep, all of those can go. Might keep those. I don't know why I'm obsessed with keeping named things. At this point, best just to go along with it. There we go, sell those 2 things. Wonderful. Right. Made a little bit of money. Cool. Ooh. Was that wasn't always here, was it? I don't remember that always being here. Okay. That's weird. Just checking my companions. No, they don't have anything new to say to me. Want to just check whether they had anything like, you know, oh yeah, this happened in the past or something. But no, that's fine. Maybe Sela? She was in the scene, as was Darren and Camellia, who isn't here. Sela? Nope. Okay, Sela didn't have anything. She was the one who was most in the scene. Probably means he's not going to have anything. Right. Where do we reckon the... is this the ward stone? I don't think this is the ward stone, but this definitely wasn't here a second ago, so it could be the ward stone. I don't see anything that says ward stone here. I think if there was a ward stone, I don't know. I don't know where it would be. Probably inside the base, I would guess. Yeah, it'd probably be inside the base. Don't know why I decided I needed to speak to Kranook here. Nope. Okay, cool. Leave him be. Leave Darren be. Right. Yes, I remember where I was going. Hello, Storyteller. You've got to have something because we have the purple knife, so this would imply that we definitely have something to speak to him about. I found a page that might interest you. Cool, nothing new there. You wanted to see it again. Frowning, the Storyteller stands for a while holding the knife, finally returns the weapon to you and says heavily, "No question, the knife is made from the Horindian crystal. No, not made. The stone is the hardened blood of a demon lord, and considering you found it in square and devastated Canabras, the blood certainly belonged to Deskari and was shed in battle. Examine my items. Stone knife. What is the stone? I think we've already done this. Haven't we? I think we have. Wait, no, we can't have already have done this because we got rid of the stone knife before we saw the Storyteller. Okay, it was just already grayed out. Anyway, I guess we'll go through it. The Storyteller touches the knife, his fingers clamping around its hilt with a hungry, masterful grip. His face contorts into an evil grimace, his voice disgustingly raspy. Hunger. My many legs bring me into the lair, to my mother's feasting hall, her swollen body overfilled with food so huge that I have to look at it with all of my eyes at once. On top of her is a scrawny little head with a long beak that is always yearning for more food. Mother greets me with a placid screech. Stupid, greedy wretch, whose only achievement is my birth, a creeping, wingless creature. It's not your fault I have no wings. Oh, sorry, it's your fault I have no wings, a symbol of greatness, a birthright I should have received from my mighty father. Mother points to a crowd of whimpering subjects, suggesting I fortify myself with their pathetic flesh. Not today. I summon my spawn and they fly to me, enveloping me in a teeming cloud. Like dark buzzing wings, they unfold behind my back and lift me up. Mother has always been stronger, but she did not expect this. I dive on her and rip her limp, bloated body with my claws. Ichor splatters the bone spurs on my heels sink into her flesh. I clench her pitiful tiny head and tear it off along with the shreds of meat. Victory, I am the strongest. I am the son of my winged father. The elf grimaces with distaste. His voice becomes normal again. Appalling. Stories like that are the most difficult ones for me to keep with. Tell me again about the future that might await this knife. The Storyteller frowns and returns the knife to you. I see just a mess of images. There are too many overlapping possibilities of what awaits it. I cannot help you. Okay. So now we have that again.
Let's move.
Okay. Now I'm like, okay, something might be up with this knife now that we have it back. I don't know though. Well, I did say we're doing council meetings, so let's go in. Let's go in. I was contemplating things, but let's do them now. Oh, we're actually doing mirror first. Okay. The reflected universe rotates, twisting into coils lit by distant stars. Your journey has changed you. You look at the spirals of galaxies entwined by the primordial design and realize your understanding of this cosmos has grown deeper. Your visit to the Abyss and your contact with its chaos have granted you an understanding of the foundations of the universe. The Worldwound is no longer as incomprehensible to you as it once was. You might even start to study it, organize it, bring order to its chaos. Any successful attempt to chart its manifestations would deal another blow to the Worldwound. Would you be able to map its planar rifts, which seem to open at random? Is it possible to harness the paradoxical nature of the devastating storms? Could you understand how chaos energies influence materia and negate their influence? Which of these questions interest you the most? Ponder the conundrums that lie before you. You see how the energies of chaos combine with the particles of air and water to create anomalous disturbances in the sky. They weave into impossible cyclones and rush away from the Worldwound. You sense a pattern to these metamorphoses, one that you can study and master, and thus master the wound storms themselves. Then your gaze dives deeper under the earth where the boundaries of the material plane lie. They are fed by ley lines that run along the edges of tectonic plates and follow the course of molten rivers of magma. In places where the ley lines are damaged, the borders of the material plane grow thinner and spatial rifts are born, but now you understand how to counter this. You see black flames cutting through one of the ley lines. This is the fire of the Abyss, devouring light and giving off chaos instead of warmth, poisoning both materia and the elements. It is a corruption, but you can study it and reverse its process to restore purity. So I can teach wizards how to subdue the storms of the Worldwound, which gets me the air elemental creation decree. Okay. That's fine. The commander and her companions gain the corruption resistance feat, which provides one rest without increasing the level of abyssal corruption. Fair enough. Cartographers gets me earth elemental, and we get the same benefit. And this gets us Worldwound restoration. Oh, allowing the recruitment of kineticists, destructive elemental spellcasters. And we gain the exact same buff. So, what are these guys? We don't have any of these guys yet. Lightning Bolt, Scorching Ray, Stone Skin, Kona Cold. They seem pretty good. Okay. I want to learn to reverse the effects of chaos in the material plane. This sounds interesting. Everything is reversible, even time itself. You'll find a way to rid the chaos-tainted materia of the corruption that permeates it. Oh, back to the mirror. We had 2 of these to do, I guess? Okay. The mirror emits a cold light. It shines like a distant star. Familiar constellations and unknown celestial bodies sparkle like precious jewels. Names you've never heard before appear in your mind. This is Bretheda, the cradle of moons, resting its sapphire radiance. Here is fiery Liavara, imprisoned by its rings, and more. So many more. The past and the future join at the event horizon and collapse into timelessness. There, beyond the event horizon, you see the Aeon's shining eyes. The Aeon has been watching you from the very beginning. But now you feel that it is close. You sense that you are finally going to uncover its secret. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? The question echoes in your mind. You're an Aeon, just like me. Who asked the question? Who answered it? You peer into the depths of the universe, trying to find the mind of the Aeon that has been guiding you on the path to absolute truth. But the cosmos is silent. All you see are the Aeon's shining eyes. Unblinking and eternal, you are determined. You have looked into the souls of sinners and saints, and now your gaze turns... now you turn your gaze to the Aeon. You stare into its eyes and the Aeon stares back, right? And the Aeon stares back. Wait a second, if the Aeon is timeless, the Aeon is us? I know you, I can see right through you. You see the moment of this Aeon's creation, but it's not a constellation of galaxies, not a constellation of cosmic ideas. You see blurry spots of light and hear muffled sounds. You feel the first pain and the first joy of a living being, its first fury, its first fear. A long string of memories, the screams of the fallen at the Grey Garrison, the defiled Wardstone, and at long last Dresden. You see the banner soaring above the fortress, the dim corridors, and the mirror that suddenly starts to glow. This is how it all began. The Aeon in the mirror takes a step forward. The swirling constellations begin to fade, and through the nebulae you can see the faint outlines of the room. Everything is made of stardust. The universe sees no difference between a giant ball of gas in the commander's table. It does not see a difference between an Aeon born from the cosmos and an Aeon born to mortal parents. Naminde exists in all places and all times. Naminde is eternal. When an Aeon is born, it is fully aware of its mission. No one guides or teaches it. No one looks after it. Only mortal creatures require the illusion of control, the illusion of a higher power watching over them. But you are an Aeon now, and your gaze pierces through the illusion. The Aeon is a guardian of order, but it also guards itself. It is always alone, yet at the same time it never knows solitude. Listen to yourself and find the source of wisdom within. When you were in Canabras, you followed the Aeon's path. You corrected a grave injustice, but the fabric of time is capable of mending itself. It calls around itself like a snake biting its tail. The Worldwound is a huge distortion and it must be corrected. You still have a chance to right this wrong. There is no other way. Oh, hello. Whoa. We're just immediately onto another conversation. No time to process what we just heard. Right into this one. I am here to notify the commander that the restrictions on information sharing have been lifted. The Axiomite God Mind has witnessed the commander's ability to alter the past and now acknowledges the commander as a true Aeon. The sum of my knowledge is now at the commander's disposal. Oh, so we are a true Aeon. What made your superiors decide that I am a true Aeon? Axiomites are Aeons made flesh. They are connected to Monad, the demigod of balance. Monad is both order and chaos. Monad is beyond time. Monad is all Aeons, and all Aeons are Monad. You see distortions and change the past, therefore your mind is fully joined the mind of Monad. By extension, the minds of all Axiomites. Their knowledge is your knowledge now. Why are you restricted from sharing your knowledge? A majority of the Axiomites support closing the Worldwound. Axis assists Aeons. The commander is an Aeon capable of closing the Worldwound. Consequently, the commander must be provided with assistance. However, the Aeons were concerned about the origins of the commander's power. They were uncertain if she could be trusted with the knowledge of the Aeons. After the commander changed the past, the Axiomites felt her presence within Monad. Therefore, the commander is a true Aeon. Was the Axiomite Godmind? The Godmind is the transcendental council that governs Axis. Axis is a plane in the outer sphere dedicated to universal law, unmarred by the struggles between good and evil. It takes the shape of a gigantic city and exists as a shining example of perfect order and harmony rising out of the churning maelstrom. Within the plane's golden barrier walls, the streets are perfectly ordered and clean. The buildings appear as paragons of their respective architectural styles in virtually every culture within the Great Beyond, and the natives strive to live in orchestrated harmony. I also believe that it may be the location where the DLC takes place. Anyway, the Godmind is composed of 3 shards that left Maelstrom, the whirlpool of energies, and fell onto the surface of Axis. The history of the Axiomites begins with this event. I want to know more about the Inevitables. Ask, are there any other Inevitables on Golarion besides the ones that have accompanied you? Yes, an inevitable outside the commander's jurisdiction. Location threshold. Name Imeslin. Information imprisoned by Areelu Vorlesh. Previous to capture, this inevitable was known as a highly effective combat unit. Current status unknown. Oh, okay. So Areelu Vorlesh is messing with the Order people as well? Interesting. Why are inevitables like you created? The Inevitables are created to fight the enemies of Axis, the Proteans. Types of Inevitables include stone, metal, jewel, and more. The Inevitables are forged in the Adamantine Crucible. Each Inevitable serves a specific purpose. Mine is to fight for the commander of Dresden. Who are the Proteans? Proteans are creatures of chaos. They aspire to disrupt the order of things. The Proteans oppose the existence of Axis. They oppose the existence of Aeons. They oppose the existence of order itself. Potentially in their number is Areelu Vorlesh? I don't know. Tell me more about yourself. Who are you? Who made you? I am an inevitable. Name, Corvereth. Purpose, created by the Order of Axiomite Godmind to assist the commander on her path to becoming an Aeon. I'd like to talk about something else. Ask. I want to know more about where you came from. Access to information granted. Tell me more about Axis. Axis is the plane of universal ideals of law and order. It is a cluster of cities connected by portals. Its capital is called Aktun, and is located in the divine realm of Abadar. It is primarily populated by Axiomites. Tell me more about the inhabitants of Axis. Axiomites are the primary residents of Axis. They are living embodiments of the Axiomite godmind. Axiomites are Aeons, and therefore are part of the demigod Monad. Axiomites are the curators of order and keepers of Axis. They oppose Proteans, the architects of chaos. Okay, this was very enlightening, but I have to go. The inevitable is silent. Oh, hello. It's Leoter. Commander, I had time to visit Nerosian and come back to you with the latest updates about Count Arendae's trial. The Holy Church provided me with the services of a mage for teleportation this time, so the journey was swift. Your personal guarantee played an immense role in the tribunal's decision. Most of the judges considered Darren Arendae's presence beside you a sufficient guarantee of safety for the Count himself and those around him. As long as the Count serves you, he will not be taken into custody. Please allow me to present you with this small reward from me personally. Your assistance in this matter was truly invaluable. Okay, that's a good reward. Now that I've updated you on the latest news, let me make a request. With the case of the other closed, I find myself rather at a loose end. There are no worthy cases demanding my attention in Mendef. I would like to join your army, Commander. I can be useful both to you and to the Crusaders, and I can keep an eye on the Count just in case anything strange starts happening with him again. You know what? You might be all glowy and evil, but welcome to the Crusade, Leoter. I mean, he's not evil, he's just done something against the order of things, but you know, welcome to the Crusade. Happy to serve, Commander. Let me note that investigating the case with you was a real pleasure for me. Hello, everybody. I guess we're on to the next thing. Commander, glad to see you back with us. Captain Hamarton has barely changed since your last meeting, but his glare is now even heavier than before and his arms and face bear new scars. You've arrived just in time. There is unrest within your forces once again. Unfortunately, once you returned, so did the wary. They are turning soldiers against you. I'm afraid we're dealing with an open mutiny. They're agitating for the army to abandon Dresden and march to Iz, to Her Majesty's aid. If we don't stop them, the outcome may be disastrous. Let's meet with the wary. I don't believe it'll be hard to convince them that their plan is pure madness. We'll gather loyal officers and send them to speak with the soldiers, unarmed and with an open heart. We'll convince them to turn their backs on those madmen and their mutiny. Mutinies must be suppressed with absolute severity. We surround all units engaged in the revolts, then we arrest and hang the agitators. Publicly. Behind every rebellious leader is a very angry second-in-command who dreams of promotion. We'll just hint at the fastest way to get it, and the mutiny will fade away by itself, with the added benefits of refreshing our staff. Okay, if the wary are so loyal to the Queen, why didn't they leave with her instead of remaining in Dresden? I couldn't say, Commander. I believe we should talk to them and find out their reasoning and their plan of action. I do agree that this all looks very suspicious. Either way, many say that you have no right to give orders to anyone, since the Queen relieved you of your command, even before you went into the Abyss. Technically speaking, they're not entirely wrong. It'll be hard to make them reconsider. You also have a great deal of respect for Queen Galfrey, don't you? I say with a 42 perception check. I'm a soldier. It's my duty to respect my superiors. I hold you in high esteem as well. You catch nervous trembling in Martin's voice, partially masked by his calm and relaxed tone. There's something he's not telling us. Let's discuss our options in further detail. As you command. Captain Hamarton, what would you advise? I think there are talks of a self-directed march or a bluff. Only lunatics would follow such a suicidal plan. You need to talk to the wary and ask them what they really want. Don't parley with mutineers. I'm pretty sure that we all know what they want. The same thing as everyone else, power and money. We'll just be playing into the hands of the wary if we sit down and talk with them as equals. Regill, what do you suggest? Revolt should be nipped in the bud. We'll surround the mutinous detachments, then publicly execute the wary, and all those convicted of instigation. If seditious tendencies persist, we'll do it again. It's the only way to ensure the troops' loyalty. A fair point. The demons are struggling to exterminate our forces. Let's do them a favor and slaughter our soldiers ourselves. Darren, your opinion, please? Behind the back of every disgruntled officer is a whole queue of aspirants eager to take their place. To get rid of the ringleaders of the wary, we won't even have to hire assassins. The promise of a promotion and a pay raise is all it will take for any second in command to do their duty, be it by a dagger or a drop of poison. They'll make good officers, feared by allies and enemies alike. I know the word honor means nothing to you, but this idea is horrible even from the most cynical perspective. What's the point of ridding ourselves of schemers and traitors if we're only going to replace them with other schemers and traitors and murderers to boot? Sela, what's your plan? Even if there were doubts before, it's perfectly clear now. The soldiers are not to blame for anything. They are being provoked by dishonorable officers. It'd be a crime to turn our loyal troops against them. We, those who give them orders, must convince them not with blades but with words. We'll appeal to their conscience and make them abandon this madness no matter what the inciters in their command are saying. Approaching the mutineers unarmed would be the definition of madness. I'm not even going to discuss this plan of sorts. Thank you, everything is clear. What are your orders? Okay, what do we think? I think Darren's plan is doomed to fail. I'm interested in the fact that we have our own choice at the bottom here. We don't usually get that. I think that Regill's plan is a little harsh. I think I don't really like Sela's plan either. So let's have a look at our plan plus Captain Hamartin's after we disregard all the others. Sela, all generals get the charismatic trait. There is, by the way, just in case you're wondering, I do hear a slight ringing in this scene. I think it must be a buff that keeps applying and de-applying or something like that. But I do hear it occasionally, and it's like a case I go, is that car alarm going off? But no, I think it's in-game. Right, at the start of battle, all units have a plus 15 to combat morale. That's pretty good. Regill. Any unit in the army gains a plus 3 to combat morale when damaged. Okay. Darren. At the start of battle, all enemy units suffer a minus 15 penalty to combat morale. Again, pretty good. So now it's the two that we have to choose. I'll do this my way. We'll surround their forces, cut off their supply routes, and maintain a blockade until they give in. Get Test of Strength. Plus 1 bonus to combat morale each turn. Each turn. Okay, so that means you need to have a lot of turns for that to equal Sela's. Right? Yeah. You have to have 15 turns for that to equal Sela's. That seems bad in comparison. So maybe this is a bad choice. This is just here maybe in case you don't have companions and you want to make a different choice than Captain Hamartin's choice. Because obviously all the companion ones are just straight up better than this one. So, that's something. Okay. Crusade morale reduces by 25. Huh. This is bad. This is obviously just straight up bad. I'm tempted to take it anyway. I'm wondering whether it's bad now, but you get a bonus later for choosing the bad option. I don't know. We're going to choose it. Praise be to your voice of reason, Commander. I will send negotiators immediately. I also think Captain Hamartin might actually be trapping us and he's going to try and assassinate us. I don't know what use we can possibly expect from this parlaying. My heart tells me that nothing good will come of it. If you play along with the mutineers now, another mutiny will soon follow. This is a bad decision. Seriously, I can't think of a worse idea. Perhaps parlaying would be a mistake, or I stand by my decision. This is the game giving us 3 chances. It's like, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, I'm taking it. I'm also wondering whether maybe it's if you had no companions, they wouldn't be here to warn you, so it wouldn't be as bad, and the trap would be easier for Captain Hamartin. If it is a trap, however, I was going to say I want to have it so I can beat him up for XP, but, yeah, like, we're level 20, we don't get XP anymore. Okay, anyway, we'll see how this goes. I'll keep you up to date on how things unfold. As soon as there are any developments, I will reconvene the council. Oh yeah, you see the buff that's on us now? That's the buff that's making this noise, I think. Try to see if I turn the camera, whether there's a... I think it's quieter here. Anyway. Commander! Oh no, it's exactly the same here. We'll just turn it to the normal camera then. Commander, although you were once again victorious in your last encounter with Karamzadeh, I'm worried. We've been interrogating the prisoners, and some interesting information has come to light. It seems Karamzadeh intends to fundamentally alter his strategy and may be on the defensive next time we fight. It is uncharacteristic of him. Indeed, it's uncharacteristic of demons generally. For the most part, they'd all prefer a ruthless onslaught. Our enemy seeks to counter us with a robust formation, overwhelm us with ranged assaults, and grind our attacks to dust, one after another. Opposing demons who fight defensively is unknown territory. We must be prepared for it. I suggest we train our infantry in ways of withstanding enemy shots, which should secure our victory in a ranged duel. Ha! What's this I'm hearing? Demons are afraid and want to fight on the defensive? Perfect. Let them stand there and wait while our cavalry mows them down. The demons intend to fight in a disciplined manner, a plan destined for failure. We will send our infantry out to meet them, and then see who blinks first and attacks. Once they've a good grip on our infantry's throat, we will surround their entire force and crush it. Ha! So the demons have decided to play with us. Well, they don't know who they're dealing with. Give me, let's see, even a few daring riders, and I'll put the kibosh on this Karamzadeh's whole strategy, no matter how great a general he is. I've defeated Karamzadeh once, and I'll do it again. That's what I'm hoping for, but I would advise against underestimating our opponent. Karamzadeh is like an angry old wolf. Yes, he growls and grins like the others, but he's much smarter, more perceptive, and more experienced than the rest of his kind. Oh, and he learns. He's learned from his mistakes, now he wants to radically reevaluate his tactics. If you think this is normal behavior for a demon general, you are mistaken. Karamzadeh may well present us with some unpleasant surprises when next we meet. I want to hear the opinions of my advisors. Odan, what's your suggestion? The demons want to adopt a defensive strategy. Well, that's their business, but there's no reason to change our own strategy. The battle will turn into a ranged duel. We'll move our infantry ahead as a tempting target for enemy fire. I'm certain our soldiers will do their duty with distinction, and while they're launching one pointless volley after another into the shield wall of our infantry, our sharpshooters will be felling them one by one. Training our soldiers as if they were pawns. Vile. Sela, what strategy do you suggest? We don't even need a strategy. It works great for us if the demons want to stand there like statues and defend. Our cavalry is fast and deadly. Containing the enemy is all we need to do to turn this whole defensive tactic into we walked right into a trap and we can't get out. So in essence, you're suggesting we place the burden of winning this battle solely on the cavalry, which means the bulk of our losses will be our most valuable and least recoupable troops. It would be wiser to set the demons on the infantry. Regill, what's your proposition? I haven't the slightest doubt that the demons will fail to change their own fundamental nature, and thus will not suddenly become a disciplined army capable of either restraint or the execution of complex plans. We'll send the infantry out against the enemy, close, a stone's throw from their ranks. The demons' discipline will falter, they will be tempted by the bait and break formation. Then we will attack with everything we have and crush them. Karamzadeh thinks he can play our own rules against us. That will be his fatal mistake. Greybor, what are you thinking? There's a trick called brat on a string. Imagine some guards stand and watch. A snotty urchin walks up to them and calls them every name he knows, throws a handful of ox manure at them and darts into an alleyway. Could you resist the temptation to chase after him and grab him by the ear? No one resists. And in the alleyway, obviously, they find me with an axe in each hand. I fulfilled a number of contracts by catching the victim's bodyguards with a brat on a string, which got me to thinking. We were in a bigger fight too. A few riders prancing around on their steeds, shouting obscenities, their every gesture just begging, run after me, catch me, kill me. You think the demons will resist the urge? They'll forget every order they were given and charge forward. If I may point out, this tactic seems reckless. A battle plan shouldn't rely on the success of a few daredevils. Okay. I don't like Greybor's plan. I don't like Sela's plan. Beyond that, we'll see what we got. Sela. Contain the enemy. Cavalry get the unit's next melee attack will reduce the target speed to 0 for 1 round. Okay, so cavalry can kind of run in there and hit the enemies and keep them there. Greybor. Taunt. Target unit will try to move towards this unit and attack it for 3 rounds. And this is cavalry. This is mind affecting effect. Okay. Regill. All trainable infantry units get the bait ability. All units in the 3x3 area will try to move towards this unit and attack it for 1 round. Actually really good for us. Odan. Juicy target. All enemy ranged units will be able to attack. All trainable infantry units get juicy target. All enemy ranged units will be able to attack only this unit in the next round. Ooh. These are both pretty similar. I'm gonna take Regill's suggestion, because this lets us do the effect against things that aren't just ranged. I will ensure discipline in the ranks is improved. That's what the infantry is for, to be a shield that takes the mightiest blow. Wouldn't you agree? I would, especially as I believe the reason why we have shield bearers is entirely your fault as well, so, you know, might as well use them. Thank you for your time, Commander. I will get to briefing the officers on our new strategy at once. Once all the preparations are finished, I'll be at your disposal again. Are we done? We're done. Okay, well, I think that this is a good point to end the episode. Next time we're going to do a little explore of this area, maybe go to the mirror. Well, if I move over here, it becomes quiet again. Yeah, we'll maybe go to the mirror, we'll maybe do some Crusade stuff, we'll do a rest, we'll head out, all of that sort of stuff. Anyway, I'm going to end the episode here. Thank you for watching, I'll see you next time, goodbye.